Hello, friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Michelle Fondin, and I'm the author of Twin Flame Union, the 7 Keys to a Healthy Twin Flame Journey. I'm also the author of Chakra Healing for Vibrant Energy, exploring your 7 energy centers with mindfulness, yoga, and Ayurveda. All of my published books are available on Amazon. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for subscribing below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. I do tarot and astrology readings. You can book that at my website, michellefondinauthor.com. Welcome to my new series on exploring your inner world, your spiritual awakening journey. And today's topic is, why do we have spiritual awakenings, and does everyone have spiritual awakenings? This is a commonly asked question. Why do we have spiritual awakenings? I'm going to answer that for you right now. So, as many of you know who have been on my YouTube channel before, or if you have been a reader of my published books, you know that I have been on several spiritual awakening journeys, several. I know that I had an experience when I was about 5 or 6 years old. I had a big one between the ages of 17 and 18, even though I really didn't know what it was at the time. Then I had a humongous one between the ages of 28 and 30. And then again in 2018 when I met my twin flame. So that is a lot of spiritual awakenings. And the reason we experience a spiritual awakening is so that we can get realigned with the reason we came here. Before we came here on Earth, we had some agreements. We had some soul agreements. And we agreed to do certain things in this lifetime. We agreed to accomplish some tasks, to have certain players in our lives, such as soulmates, maybe a twin flame, to have other karmic connections or other connections. We made an agreement to follow a specific life path or purpose, or maybe 5 life paths or purposes, depending on your age. So we had these agreements. And then soon after you were born, you forgot about all of these agreements and soul contracts. Completely forgot. Like, poof, it's done. I don't know. I'm a human now. I need to eat and I need to sleep and I need my parents to hold me and cuddle me and keep me warm. So we, for all intents and purposes, we forgot. We forgot. Now, very, very, very young children, they tend to have glimpses into their soul. They do, because if you talk to small children, they often have the wisdom of the ages when they haven't really lived for that long. But through societal conditioning, through parental conditioning, through the conditioning of our education systems, we forget why we came here. And if you have been going along your physical life, doing the things that we all do in our physical life, you get the education, you have some friends, you discover a little bit about who you are in this life, you get a job, you have a career, you might have some children, you might buy a house, have a car, get a boat, get a motorcycle, whatever it happens to be. You might still go out with friends and have cocktail parties and watch football games or soccer games or go to the theater. So we have all these things we do in our daily living as we are growing, learning, and becoming a human being, because you are really a spiritual being having a human experience. And I know you've heard that one before. You're a spiritual being first, having a human experience. And there's nothing wrong with having a human experience. Don't let anyone, any spiritual teacher, make you feel ashamed for having this human experience because it's what you asked for. Before you came here, you asked to have this very human experience, so you should be celebrating your human experience. But sometimes as human beings, or as spiritual beings having a human experience, you get sidetracked. You get sidetracked. There are so many wonderful things to explore on this physical journey. There are so many wonderful and beautiful things to explore on this earth plane. And it's fun. It's fun to be here. It's fun to eat the good food and to celebrate milestones. It's fun to do your work if you like your job. And it's fun to interact with others. All of that is really a good time. But sometimes we get stuck in a rut and we forget that before we came here, we signed up for some stuff. And so we will have these moments in our lives where our soul is tugging at us. And this might come through angelic presence. You have guardian angels, yes you do, through your spirit guides, through your ancestors that might be guiding you as well. You have this soul's calling, and if you forget or you have forgotten your soul's calling and what you came here to do, you might be reminded of what you intended to do when you came here. And that is called a spiritual awakening. So why do we have spiritual awakenings? We have spiritual awakenings so that we can remember all the homework we signed up for, all the tasks, all the soul contracts we signed up for when we came here. It's almost like God is saying to us, okay, playtime is done. Like you can play while you're taking care of your soul contracts. You can play while you're getting this other work done for your soul. We experience a lot of discomfort, and I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that in a later video. But we experience a lot of discomfort when we have this spiritual awakening because it takes us out of our current life, because it's asking us, our soul, your soul, my soul, is asking us to move beyond the comforts, the creature comforts, if you will, to move beyond the creature comforts, to start looking at the homework that you signed up here to do. Now, the next question that comes about in this is, does everyone have a spiritual awakening? And the answer is yes. Everyone who came here as a spiritual being having a human experience, everyone who came here signed up for some stuff. Now, depending on how far your personal soul has journeyed before this lifetime, they might have a lesser degree of homework to do, a lesser degree of tasks and soul contracts to do, or they might have even more. So yes, everyone goes through some sort of spiritual awakening. Now, here's a little caveat about that. We all have free will choice. So yes, you signed up to have certain things accomplished in this lifetime, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, connections with others, whatever it happens to be, you signed up for certain things. Now, you also have free will to do those certain things in this lifetime or to delay it and do it in a subsequent lifetime. Now, if that does happen, oftentimes the built up, the pent up energy, because you haven't really done what you signed up to do, because you elected to do this, if by free will you have decided, nope, I like my creature comforts, I like my predictable lifestyle and life pattern, I don't want to change, I don't want to grow, I don't want to grow my soul, I don't want to feel this discomfort of having to change things. Think of it as like this buildup, this pent up energy that for the next lifetime, you're going to feel it more intensely. So if you haven't taken care of business that you signed up for in this lifetime with the spiritual awakening that takes you beyond what you're doing right now, if by free will you say, no, I'm not interested, right? No, that doesn't resonate with me. I'm just not interested in that. It builds up so that by the time you awaken to your next life, the homework is going to seem heavier. It's going to feel more intense. It's going to feel like a greater burden. For all intents and purposes, it should not be a burden, right? It shouldn't be a burden because your soul knew what it was getting into when it came here. It's not like it's a huge surprise to yourself, to your soul. It's not a huge surprise. You signed up for it. So when we get complacent in our physical life and our physical comforts, in getting in the rut or the routine of what we like to do, when we get into that rut and we don't want to grow or change or evolve, we ignore the homework that we were intending to do. Now, obviously, the bigger the work, the bigger the homework, the bigger the soul contracts, the bigger things that you've signed up for in this lifetime, the more spiritual awakenings you will have to level up. Because we can have a spiritual awakening, start doing other things that are pointing us in the direction of our soul's work. And then we reach that level and then we get comfortable again. And we get comfy and cozy and we get complacent and we don't want to move out of that comfort zone. And so if you have big work ahead of you and you're still alive, which if you're watching this video, I'm hoping you're still alive, and maybe, I don't know, maybe there's some spirit guides watching this as well. But if you have even bigger work, you're going to have multiple spiritual awakenings so that you can move your soul's work up to the next level, the next level, the next level, the next level. So my suggestion is, if you know you have a lot of soul work to do, don't get too comfy where you're at, because it's bound to change. And that's really the one thing about a spiritual awakening, is that the reason it gets you in a way where people start to feel a lot of discomfort is because it is designed to get you to change. It's designed to let you know, hey, you're more than this physical body. Hey, you're more than the physical and material things that you have on this earth. You're more than that. Guess what? We know you forgot, but you're really more than that. So that is why we have spiritual awakenings. I hope this was helpful for you on your spiritual journey. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. Thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing this video with others who might be going through a spiritual awakening. I want to thank you so much for your support of my YouTube channel. You can purchase one of my 11 published books. They're all available on Amazon. You could book a tarot or astrology reading with me. And hey, guess what? I teach meditation. I have a course that's starting on January 26th. You can take that with me over Zoom, or I have an ongoing online class that is also on my website, and you can take that at any time. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next video.